check with you guys. How's the audio? Everything sounding okay? That was an audio check. Is it working? What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. So I've been catching a little bit of heat because I've been critical of Graham a little bit. And it just didn't seem like he was going very hard in the paint against Candace. And a lot of people saying that he's been calling her out for months. So I'm just going to do this live. I was going to do like a pre-recorded video and go through but I figured, you know what? We'll just do it live. We'll just do it live. So we're going to go back through some of his content and we're going to watch. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to hold Graham to a little bit different of a standard because, and this is according to Graham, he has insider knowledge. He was close to Charlie. He was inside that circle of friends and influencers. So let's just see how he's been calling Candace out for months. And we will just take a look. So the earliest video that I found on his YouTube was a video titled Candace Owens Drops Bombshell on Charlie Kirk. So we'll just start there. Figured we'll just start as far back as I can find. And we'll go from there. We'll see how he's been calling Candace out.
This is what Candace had to say about, this is what took over the internet yesterday. Okay. And again, I'm telling you honestly, I don't know. I sent Candace a text message probably about 2 days ago. And I said, Candace, it's Graham. Hey, I got some questions. I just want to talk to you. Candace has not responded to me. Okay. That is the truth. That is the honest to God's truth. I sent Candace a text message. She has not responded to me. Play it. Let's go.
And he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you
So the date,
that I am
the date on this video is September 16th.
very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More.
I know he's on Rumble, but he does have clips of his show that he posts to YouTube. So I'm just going over YouTube videos. If there's something that isn't on YouTube that you know he has done, at some point, just feel free to let me know in the comments. But I'm just going through quick sort of videos from YouTube, guys.
More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this as like, you know, re-education camp. You know, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. You know, we're just.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe ex-favorite daughter that I think he just got a Rumble deal. So he just exclusively does his live show on Rumble. But I don't think he's banned from YouTube, but I could be wrong. I mean, he's got videos on YouTube, so maybe he can't live stream. I'm not sure, but I think he just got a Rumble deal.
Need you to come out to Auschwitz.
All right, pause. So it goes on a long way through there. So at the end of the day, what can be deduced, and again, I didn't watch her entire episode, but this is the clip that's going around, can be deduced as Candace is saying that Israel had something to do with it in some way, shape, form, fashion, right? I mean, that seems like a rational deduction of what she's getting at, right? So Bill Ackman actually did respond to this. We'll just read here what Mario says. He kind of sums it up as a huge thing. Bill Ackman is denying Candace Owens' claim that he staged a, quote, intervention to pressure Charlie Kirk on Israel. Quote, this afternoon, Candace slandered me by accusing me of staging an intervention with Charlie Kirk in which threats were made. I have never threatened Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, or anyone associated with him. I have never blackmailed anyone, let alone Charlie. Ackman shared details of his actual interactions with Kirk, describing cordial meetings, conference calls, and a Hamptons gathering. So he does confirm that there was this gathering in the Hamptons with Charlie and a handful of conservative influencers. I don't know when this took place. So a lot of people have been like, well, were you included in that, Graham? No. And I think it's because I was still at the DOD at the time. Like, I don't know, but I was not included in this, but obviously it did happen. But Bill Ackman is denying it. Now, here's the thing. Up next is Andrew Colvett. Andrew Colvett last night put this tweet out. Now, for those of you, again, who don't know who Andrew Colvett is, There is no Charlie Kirk without Andrew Colvette. He is the Robin to Charlie's Batman. Andrew, even closer than me and Todd, Andrew was with Charlie essentially 97% of Charlie's life. If he wasn't with Erika or legit some closed door meeting that Andrew couldn't get into, which is very rare, okay?
This was September 16th on YouTube. So I'm not sure if maybe he did this show the 15th or if this is from his live show on the 16th on Rumble. But on YouTube, it's from the 16th of September.
Andrew Colvette was there. This is what Andrew has to say. I have been asked about the Bill Ackman event more than a few times now, so I asked our staff who were traveling with Charlie to find out what's true and what's not. His team was with him, quote, 100% of the time when he wasn't in his hotel room. Here's what they told me. Bill never yelled at Charlie, never pressed him on BB, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. There was concern raised about having Tucker Carlson at SAS. SAS was back in July. So this definitely happened then while I was at the DOD. All right. If this happened before Tucker was speaking at SAS, then I was still at the DOD during this time. And Charlie's reply was, honestly, people telling me not to have Tucker makes me want to have Tucker, and I'm going to lock him in for AmFest too. That's in December. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relationship with Bill and the event was productive. Those are the facts. And if you scroll down just a little bit more, he finishes it up here. For what it's worth, I spoke to all 3 team members, not counting security, who were with him because I wanted to make sure one person hadn't missed the alleged incident. And then somebody says, don't take the shekels, Colvette. Selling Turning Point over to the Zionists will be the end of Turning Point. Charlie Kirk deserves the truth about his assassination revealed to the public to establish a viable legacy. And Andrew simply responded, just ask the team what happened because I wanted to know too. Had they said the opposite, I would have said so. Take it as you will. So those are the things that we know right now, okay? And I told you before the beginning of this that we would talk about it. We'd put it out there.
Okay, guys, I don't want who's the guest or like the co-host here on the right-hand side. He seems pretty solid so far.
I don't have an opinion on it right now.
I
Like
do.
said, I didn't even see these clips until about 1 o'clock in the morning last night. Todd, if you want to go ahead and say something.
Well, this is all.
Okay, so first criticism, right? This is coming from a guy that we know that just said in a live stream yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, that he's known Candace has been a covert leftist toxic person this entire time. He made that claim. And right here, he doesn't know enough about it to really have an opinion yet because he's only seen it earlier that day. Keep in mind, he's referring to Candace basically coming out and saying that the meeting at the Hamptons and all of the Israel, it was all Israel early on. That was the point that everybody was getting to, was Israel was involved in this. So already, he's not, he waited till, what, February of the next year to talk about his relationship with Candace and how he knew she was a covert leftist and how toxic she is. But right away here, he's being a little timid on saying anything, it seems.
All I'll say, okay? And I'm not going to.
Keep in mind, other creators were already going, okay, what is Candace talking about? This is nuts. His co-host on the right side here.
Get into it with Candace Owens because I'm not on her level. But I will say this, because you say Charlie was like my brother, Charlie was my best friend, Charlie this, Charlie that. All right, this man right here is probably my best friend right now. It hasn't even been a week, Candace. Like, it hasn't been a week. Like, I can tell you beyond all shadow of a doubt that if something happened to this man right here, within the first 7 days of him being taken away from us, I wouldn't be spinning crazy.
Okay, so this excuse, I've seen this, guys. People are afraid to call her out because she is vengeful. Okay? Then be a big account, be a big influencer, and don't call Candace out. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not support you anymore. I'm not going to watch your content. I'm not going to trust you. I'm going to find somebody else to watch. So that's fine. They can be afraid to call her out, but then there needs to be consequences.
Crazy notions and talking crazy stuff just to get clicks, sister girl. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's the truth or not, like, I think it's in really poor taste if he was supposed to be your friend. I just inviting discord and inviting dissension and inviting confusion when we're all just trying to get over the loss is in poor taste.
And I don't think that's like, I can't imagine somebody like Graham Allen is necessarily too afraid, right? The guy's a combat veteran. Not that, living with some type of threat isn't a real thing, but it's a different thing for somebody, say, like a Megyn Kelly as opposed to a Graham Allen. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. That might be like misogynistic or something, but it just seems like somebody like Graham Allen probably shouldn't quite have the same fear level as somebody like a Megyn Kelly or something when it comes to like an actual threat. I'm not talking about the fear of losing subs or the fear of losing sponsors or the fear of losing, their paycheck, but
I'm going to dive into this. You have my word. I'm not going to rest until I spoke to Dan this morning. I talked to him this morning. I'm going to find out. I will not rest until I know that I know that I know that I know what happened to my friend Charlie. Because unlike many of you, Charlie was my friend. There would be no me without Charlie Kirk. So I promise you that there are a few people that care about this as much as I do. Obviously, his family, obviously, people that he worked with Turning Point to start it, but there would be no Dear America without Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to find out. I don't have an opinion on what Candace said right now because I don't have an opinion. But I'm going to find out. I promise you. I promise you that. I'm not going to rest. We're going to keep talking about this until we find out. I miss my friend.
Okay, so we'll afford him a little grace. This was early on. This was September 16th. Keep in mind, he has the knowledge that Candace is a covert leftist and that she's super toxic. But on September 16th, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait and see where it all goes, and he's gonna find the truth. Let's pull up another one. I want to try to keep this linear. Like, I don't want to jump all over the place. So just bear with me here, guys. All right, the last one was Candace Owens drops a bombshell. I'm looking for videos that look like he's directly calling Candace out. I would assume he would put that in the thumbnail. I could be wrong, but TPUSA speaking out about the Charlie drama. Keep in mind, guys, this is all fresh for me. I haven't like gone through these or pre-did this. Just doing it live. Except for this one. Turning Point confirms. Yeah, you know what? We'll watch this one.
Okay. And again, I'm going to do my best to bring you what we're going to listen to everything. We're going to play everything. We're going to play the full thing.
Okay, so this is a clip from his show. Let me get the date, guys. Sorry about that. October 8th of 2025. And this has to do with the text messages that Andrew Colvett confirmed where Charlie's talking about leaving the pro-Israel cause. You guys know what text message
here of all this stuff. All right? And but I'm going to tell you what I know as facts. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I know as facts. In fact, I'll read this before we even start. Okay, you ready? The text direct from Tyler Boyer.
Let me explain to you why Graham is getting all of this analyzing. Because Graham, unlike people like me or Gary or Jay Witt or Artie or all of these other people, smaller creators who have been calling out Candace for months, we didn't know Charlie Kirk in person. Graham claims to have been close to Charlie. Yet for whatever reason, just so far, again, I could be wrong. I'm okay being wrong, guys. That's why I'm doing this live. If I'm wrong, I will come out and say I'm wrong. I'll apologize. It's not that big of a deal to me. But if these large influencers are being, what's a word? What's a good word? Shady? Weird? This is according to Graham, he was close to Charlie. Knew Candace well for a decade. Knows all these behind the scenes secrets. Knows that, in his own words, Charlie got nervous and anxious every time Candace reached out to him because she was so toxic and he was so worried about her. It took him how long to like he should be one of the biggest voices right now defending Erika and TPUSA. But for whatever reason he's not. You know what I mean? Like TPUSA, the Charlie Kirk show, they had Gary from Paramount Tactical on their show defending things. I don't know if maybe they've had Graham. I don't recall. But Gary, who didn't even know Charlie in person, TPUSA has had him on, but they haven't had Graham on. It like this is what I'm trying to figure out here is why somebody who's seems to be a decent sized influencer who claims he's close to Charlie and to Erika has taken him this long to, as I've been saying, go hard in the paint against Candace. But I could be wrong, and we're going to find out.
Right here. And his tweet, do we have Tyler's tweet in here? We do. Okay. But this is what he said to me. And it's a text and it says, work is greater than talking. America is greater than fighting on the internet. And that was simply his message for me. I was like, how do you want me to talk about this Candace stuff tomorrow? How can I help? What's the truth? What's going on? And that's what he said. Work is more important than talking, and America is more important than fighting on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's get into it here. Which clip is this? This looks old. This
the
is
text messages.
This is the original text message video, just to put it in comparison. So let's play it.
Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot.
We're going to see just how strongly he's been calling out Candace the whole time, as everybody keeps telling me. And I'm going to find out if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. And then I'm going to apologize to Graham for being critical of him. That's what we're doing.
And will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro.
Pause. All right. So the first part there, just took another huge Jewish donor, or just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because they won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Okay. The context of that text message from everyone I've talked to, she is reading it wrong. Now, remember, she said earlier that Charlie wanted to bring Candace Owens back. That's what she said, right? I'm not making that up, right? Like everybody that's watching the Candace stuff, that's what she said verbatim. Charlie wanted to bring Candace Owens back. Okay, that implies at least that back in a role with Turning Point USA, a speaking event, which she did do a speaking event in 2024. But this text that Charlie said right here, everyone that was involved in this chat says that I'm thinking of inviting Candace was more of a, like if they don't want me to invite Tucker, I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? Like kind of thing. It was more of a, like if look like, and you'll see Blake talk about this later. Screw me, screw you. Like you don't want me to invite Tucker. Not only am I inviting Tucker, I'll do you one better. I'll invite Candace, like kind of thing. And so again, the context of this stuff matters, guys. Okay, yesterday.
Super chat from Audrey Unfiltered. I do believe they had him on not long ago after Charlie died. I could be wrong, but I'm like 98% sure, LOL. But it's still sad that people who didn't know him have been the loudest calling her out. Yeah, and I could be wrong. He very well may have been on the Charlie Kirk show since September 10th. But I don't remember seeing clips. I'm on X pretty chronically. And I feel like if TPUSA would have shared that, but I could be wrong. And that's all right if I'm wrong. I will admit that I made a mistake and I am wrong. But I haven't seen it. And I feel like somebody who was that close to Charlie should be one of the loudest voices. Period. Should have been for months. If Andrew Colvette put something out, everybody knows he said something almost immediately. If Erika put something out, somebody knows Erika said something almost immediately. Candace put something out. Somebody knows Candace said something almost immediately. Everybody who was close to Charlie, when they put something out about this, generally gets a pretty good amount of traction and attention. I'm just really surprised that I haven't seen much from Graham except recently. Hang on one second here. I think I missed a super chat. Eek. If I can't pull it up, I will still read it here. Amethyst Angel sent in 5. Graham is very strategic and meticulous. He wants his ducks in a row. Maybe wanted to clear a lot by Erika. NDAs, former DOD. Give Candace Owens enough rope. Maybe. Maybe. Feel like that might be giving a little bit of grace there. GS70 Stealth just sent in a $10 super chat. Not sure if you wanted to type something, but if you do, feel free to put it in the chat and I will pull it up because there was no message in there. Otherwise, thank you for the super chat.
Today, never once did I say that these messages weren't real. I questioned the timeline. That's what I said. I said, I don't know when the timeline is. We don't know if it was 48 hours. We don't know if it was 2 months, all of this. Well, then Andrew Colvette comes out yesterday, and now let's play what Andrew Colvette and them have to say. Is this the, okay, so this, is this the, how long is this video?
3:26.
Okay, we're going to listen to this in its entirety, and we might pause it a little bit. But
Samantha, that seems accurate. Plus, he's a godly man. He didn't want to publicly smear her until she did it to him. How is calling her out for what she really is publicly smearing her? Guys, I'm holding Graham to a standard that he claims himself to have. Insider knowledge. He's been aware. He said this himself. Candace has been a covert leftist. So all of these people have just been aware of Candace, but they've just been hiding that little secret. And to be frank, Charlie's kind of guilty of this too. But it's one thing to like, here's my point, guys. If you go, any content creator you've been watching that's been calling out Candace, go look at their videos around the same time frame as these and just do like a side-by-side comparison. I guarantee you it's a much different pushback against Candace. Why? These are people that don't have insider knowledge. Graham does. Why was, like, are you guys following with the point that I'm trying to make? This guy now comes out when it seems to be, I don't know, safe to call Candace out, or there's not quite as much pressure maybe. Well, now they want to come in and do the right thing, which is great. Like, I don't want Graham to not do it. I'm just saying, like, if this, we're making the wrong people famous. We're making the wrong people popular. And we need to check ourselves, because if you look at people like Benny Johnson, we've got Ben Shapiro, guys. Really, did anybody see that coming? Like, one of the strongest voices mocking Candace for everything she's been doing to Erika. Ben Shapiro, you guys really thought Ben Shapiro was going to be the loudest voice in the room? That doesn't seem a little crazy to you guys?
you need to hit that like button, hit the share button, because here we go. I want to remind everybody before we play it, Andrew Colvett has already admitted to the fact that they lost a major Jewish donor over Tucker Carlson. He's already admitted to that. He has already said that that was a real thing. And they have already said on multiple occasions that Charlie didn't like that you can't have any questions about what Israel's doing, their PR campaign, what the defense or what the military is doing, without people calling you an anti-Semite. They've already said all of that. Okay? Here's Andrew Colvett. Let's play it.
Charlie was loyal to people that he had shared history with, right? He was asked,
right there with you.
Maybe what you were about to say, Blake. He was asked about Candace before in public, and he would always say, listen, we're friends. He would never say an ill word about her. And if people, tried to force him to do that about Tucker or whatever, he would always be defiant because he didn't want to be morally blackmailed.
Exactly. Charlie was loyal to people who had ever been friends to him, whether it was very old donors or just people who had worked with Turning Point.
Yep.
And as long as they were not attacking him, he would not air any dirty laundry or, frankly, any disagreements he had with people. He did disagree with Candace on the Israel issue. He disagreed with Tucker on the Israel issue. But he also recognized Tucker had positions they agreed on. Tucker was a useful voice in the conservative movement on many things. And so he invited him to events, and, they were popular events.
I think this is more than anything, this is sort of for me, because I want to understand these people a little better. It makes no sense to me that people who would claim to have been close to Charlie would be going this light on Candace Owens. I don't care. It does. Make any excuse you want. They're worried about the threats. They're worried about skeletons in their closet. Okay, well, you chose to get into this business knowing you have all of these skeletons. So what you're telling me is that you're easily compromised, and I should probably not support you because I can't trust you. I probably shouldn't listen to a word you say because I know that somebody has some dirt on you and can control you. Isn't that what Candace said? I'm pretty sure there was that clip we watched on Gary's show yesterday. Candace said something about when they know everything there is to know about you, they can control you. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. But if that's the case, well, then I don't want you speaking for me because I don't trust you.
And so he would react. Sometimes people would just say, yeah, don't invite him the we're going to, cut off some large donation. And that would make him angry. He would say this, yeah, as you say, this is moral blackmail. And he's this Scottish guy. He's combative. His reaction to that is, the classic, screw me. No, screw you. That sort of thing.
No, I'm saying I don't. You can choose to do whatever you like. I'm going through these videos because I want to find out if I was wrong. Everybody's been telling me that I'm wrong about Graham. So I'm going through videos to see when it was that he really started amping it up and going against Candace Owens. How far into this he waited.
He had, and it's one of my favorite parts about Charlie is just how defiant and independent he was.
Yeah,
he was never going to
He could not be controlled by other people.
You could not buy him. He was not bought and paid for. You could not control him with money. It just wasn't the way he was wired. He didn't actually care about money that much.
And so what's going on here? What is going on here? You guys can look up what the text say. What is going on is Charlie, as I mentioned, he loved Israel. He cared about Israel. He cared about the Holy Land. And he was aware there was a surge of anti-Israel sentiment on the right.
Pause.
So we should just have no accountability as long as we're winning. Is that what I'm getting from that, Betsy B? No accountability as long as we're winning. Doesn't matter. We'll do whatever it takes to win. Isn't that what the left does? Isn't that more leftist? I prefer to not be like the left. Just me though.
Here we go. Before Blake gets into this. Okay, look, this is the thing here. So everybody talks about the letter that Charlie sent, right? But everybody negates or leaves out the point. Why did Charlie write this letter? And Blake is fixing to get into it right here. Charlie wrote this letter. And I say this from talking to, and now you're going to hear it from people that worked closest with Charlie. This is the thing.
Well, to be fair, I'm not saying don't vote. I'm talking about influencers here, not elected officials, not people running for office. I'm just talking about people who politically speak for a living. So yeah, people who are talking and getting all of the attention and having some type of influence on people, I think we need to have accountability for that, and our elected officials too. But seems pretty difficult to hold them accountable once they get elected. That's a whole nother topic. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about influencers. I don't want my influencers corrupted. I don't want them to have dirt on themselves that can be used against them so they can be controlled to push an agenda. I want honest people on the right with balls. Man or woman.
I'm not saying that Charlie and Candace weren't friends. Of course they were. Again, Andrew and Blake just admitted to that. Of course, Charlie and Candace were friends. But Blake was with Charlie and Andrew were with Charlie every single day.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that Charlie wrote this letter to Bibi Netanyahu is because he knew that there was a rapid rise in
Fran G. David, that's a great point. Absolutely. I agree. Maybe everyone was hoping that Candace would stop, but since she didn't, I guess that's why some people are starting to speak up. That's fair. That's a solid argument, Fran. Solid argument. And I have to partially agree with that. Like, I understand that completely. Maybe not people that were close to Charlie, but like for a blanket majority of people that were, maybe not super close to the situation. But if you're close to Charlie and Candace is coming out and saying crazy stuff, and not to mention, pretty sure Graham is like a big Bongino guy, right? Huge Bongino guy. He was giving Candace grace, even though Dan Bongino and Kash Patel were in charge of you know what I'm saying?
just being done with Israel. I'm not going to say anti-Semitism. I'm just saying done with Israel. So Charlie, being a friend to Israel, writes this letter saying, you are doing this wrong. You are losing the PR war. You are losing the youth, which is kind of what Charlie did. Why would he write a letter to Israel saying, hey, listen to me, this is what you need to do differently, if Charlie was going to turn his back on Israel and then Israel's going to kill Charlie Kirk because of it? I mean, just ask the real question there. Why? Listen to what Blake has to say. Let's go.
This issue and was trying to chart a path forward for people who are sympathetic to Israel. He was playing the good cop here. He was saying, you guys don't realize how bad it could potentially get. Mm-hmm. You have to change your PR. That's why he writes a letter to Bibi. You are losing the PR war. You need to change how you do your PR. You need to change your messaging to the American right. You might need to.
Miss Me Cat, Graham finally got fed up. That may be the case. That very well may be. Here's my criticism of that. According to him, he's known how toxic Candace is for 10 years. Knows that she's been a covert leftist and that she's only interested in, his quote, money. Don't you think him and others would have been fed up with Candace a long time ago? And it took him this long to go, Candace is crazy. Candace is talking crazy shit. Candace is a leftist. She is gone. She has an agenda. Took him this long to start saying this stuff, guys. And we're just all cool with that. I don't know, to me, guy, I'm not okay with that. I want my influencers to be honest and have balls.
Change what you expect from us, that you're not going to be able to count on just, for example, unlimited military aid from America. That's just not going to be tenable going forward. So maybe it has to be a more passive relationship. Maybe you need to give more support towards America. Some more support towards America in, for example, opposing Islamic migration into America. That's one thing he thought we could ally on. And he was trying to do all of this because he cared about the relationship and wanted to chart a way forward on it.
This isn't a better late than never situation. It's not like I want to be very clear. I am very glad that Graham is talking. I'm grateful for everybody who's speaking out against Candace right now. Absolutely grateful for it. But if you're a bigger content creator and you've been in this game like Graham has for as long as they have, you have this insider information. You're this close to the story. I just expect more out of you. I just do.
And he would feel angry and upset when people would react to this by blowing up and suggesting he was an anti-Semite or a hater.
I strongly suspect that Erika finally released Graham, her final pit bull, her trump card. Again, listen, guys, you got to spell words out for me. I'm kind of retarded, all right? DOD EMP when TPUSA began. Holds cards close to chest. And you could be right. You could be right, Amethyst. 100% you could be right. But why? But why? What benefit has that where's the benefit to that for TPUSA? Where's the benefit for that to anybody? While Candace is amassing a giant following of brain rot people. People are holding their cards close and waiting. Like, the time was right away. It got really big, really fast.
He would get angry about that.
Hear what he just said right there? Charlie
Sorry, thank you for the super chat, by the way, Amethyst. I appreciate it.
would get upset when he would say these things, asking questions to people, say he's an anti-Semite or a hater or he's a paid shill for Israel. I'm looking at all these comments right now on this show. Graham, did you get the talk too? No, I didn't get to talk at all. In fact, I was kind of offended that I didn't get invited to do $7,000 a post. I was actually like, really? I wouldn't have taken it anyway, but I was like, dang, I guess I'm not as big of a deal as I thought I was, and all that stuff. Either way, but this is what I mean. What the chat is doing right now, there's a lot of people in the chat that are saying the exact same things that Blake is telling you Charlie had a problem with.
But they were making content. He's doing it right now. This one was October, but he made a video September 16th. So they were making content and talking about it. They just weren't pushing back against Candace. So they were just told not to push back against Candace at all. Why would Erika tell anybody to do anything? It took Erika how long to ask for Candace to stop, but she's going to tell other people not to talk, not to cover it? I mean, maybe, I guess. I don't know either way, but that doesn't seem like it tracks.
You can't either ask questions against Israel without people calling you an anti-Semite, and you can't answer questions for Israel without people saying.
Betsy B, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that I'm necessarily upset with Graham. This is more an overall arching issue here with right-wing large influencers, and just me wondering if we should probably be more careful on who we just give our support to. Like, just because they're saying some things we like to hear, it seems what happened on September 10th kind of exposed these guys. It exposed them in the sense that they might not be 100% in it for the cause, I think is probably the safest way that I can say this on YouTube.
That you're a paid Israel shill.
Which is not what I want. I want
you can't have conversations about this, and that's a dangerous place to be. You just can't.
That's just me. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Thing. It has become this gigantic issue. And Charlie, as he always did, saw it ahead of time. All right, let's finish this out.
He knew it was untrue, and then he would
you'll
sometimes
have all these content creators now, right, screaming about transparency in government. How about we have transparency everywhere, so we don't run into weird drama issues like this with influencers, and all of a sudden all these dirty little secrets these people have. Charlie really was, man. They're like, there's no joke. Charlie was holding this whole thing together, or at least it appears that way.
About this. Yeah. He would vent about this to people who understood that, who were pro-Israel people who shared his view on that issue.
Well, exactly. And just why I, didn't share this publicly, it was because this was a private message between Charlie and some people, some Jews and non-Jews, where he was, frustrated. He was frustrated. And that would have felt like a betrayal to my friend because he never said anything like that publicly in like a show, right? He said things with Megan that were very, like we just played them. I went on Alex Clark's show and I felt like I did a faithful job of expressing what I believed his genuine feelings were.
Okay, that's not the one that we need. I need that one, and I need the one that's in the chat right above us talking, Todd. I need the one where he admits that it's actually real, and that he sent it to the government and all this stuff. So other mystery person in the back of this background, if you can add those in really quick, that would be
you
great.
talking about the one that's 5 minutes long?
Yes, we need that, and then the one literally in our group chat.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
talking
now.
about him venting and frustrating. Let's skip past the parts that we already heard, but let's play it.
Original Alice, we forget even these seemingly solid people can be fallible. Yes, all people are fallible. Yes. Maybe they were hoping to avoid having to speak up and make an enemy, and now they've got a harder battle to fight because they came late. Then let's have a cleansing, shall we? Let's cleanse it.
This group chat text, he does say, that he is leaving him no choice but to leave the pro-Israel side. Here's what I want people to know. Charlie said these things publicly and privately to us, like that he was frustrated. He would say something like that, and then he would go in a public situation and he would strike a more moderate tone. And we can blow the brakes if we have to.
No, I wouldn't frame it that way. I would say he was frustrated because he didn't like we can get into this actually
well,
once we get past the break here.
Well, no, it's fine. What I'm saying is he would be frustrated, but like the point when I say moderate tone, when he would say something off the cuff, maybe to you or to me or to some other friend, like his public statements, he would kind of strike just a little bit more tender tone, if you will. And so here's the thing. I looked at that moment as like he's just blown off steam. He's frustrated. He's venting, right? And I just want to say, like,
I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but if somebody stupid like me was able to see that Candace wasn't going to stop this and that it was going to keep going, which I've said in many previous videos, even very early on, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that they thought this was going to stop or this was going to end. She was getting, 350,000 concurrent live viewers. She was getting millions of views on her show. There was a viral tweet daily. You're going to have a really hard time convincing me that they, like, maybe within the first few weeks they thought it would go away. But like after a month or two, like there's no way that they thought this was just going to stop.
He made that very clear under any circumstances that he was not going to be cowed or bullied into deplatforming Tucker, for example. He made that expressly clear to us. Would he have invited Candace? I have no idea. I think what he was saying in that text, he's like, keep coming at me, bro, and let's see what happens, right? And Charlie was wonderfully defiant. He was wonderfully independent.
Pause.
He would not.
Okay, again, Todd, since you're the only one here today, we have multiple group chats.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do I say things in the group chat because I'm mad or I'm frustrated or people are coming at me, like all this stuff all the time? How many times do I say things to get it out? And then when
I rule, really? You think it's hard to believe there's that many stupid people on the internet? I'm actually surprised her numbers aren't a bit larger, to be honest with you.
we actually get in front of people, I'm able to collect my thoughts and then say what I actually really want to say in a calm, collected manner. Like, no, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit, right? Like this is a heavy job that we do.
Yeah.
This is a heavy thing. So for people that are reading that one thing, and I'm sure that Candace today will drop some more text messages because she's already made a tweet that says, should I, almost like this, should I drop more screenshots? That's why I question what she's doing and why she's doing it. If you've got something and if you've got it all, then why didn't you drop it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an example where he's pushing back. But people like me who aren't privy to, we don't know these people on a personal level. We're saying this. This guy has insider information that he just decided to come out with in February that says she's a covert leftist. Everybody knows she's toxic. All this for years. They've known this. And he's saying things that people like me and Gary and Artie and Jay Witt were saying. And we don't know any of these people on a personal level. So how is it that somebody with insider information is parroting the same stuff that smaller content creators are saying who don't know anybody? That's a question I have. Like I'm trying to do the math in my head and make that make sense, and I can't. So either maybe he's not as close to them as he's saying he is, or he's just maybe he's just a really, really nice guy. And he's just giving everybody the benefit of the doubt in October here. That could be the case. But in situations like this, I don't know. I want some content creators. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's the guy making the loudest noise.
If you've got literally, like her tweet was like, should I drop more tomorrow? Like, kind of thing.
That sounds a lot like the LeBron decision, like mentality.
It's marketing. It's marketing.
There's a difference. There's a difference with TPUSA, people in TPUSA calling things out. That gives Candace fuel against them. Look at how she's twisted every little thing. They tried. Right? They tried to be professional in the situation. I was of the opinion that TPUSA shouldn't have talked about it at all. They should have never contacted Candace in any way, shape, or form. Because and it wasn't just me. There were, Jay Witt, Gary, that they knew early on Candace was going to manipulate and spin it. We could see the direction Candace was going. And we're nobodies. I mean, Gary's pretty special, but so is Jay Wick. I'm nobody, all right? And I was able to see where this was probably headed. So no, TPUSA, like them keeping their mouth shut makes sense. The rest of these guys, no, makes no sense. Defend TPUSA. They're getting their teeth kicked in by psychopaths daily. Do something. That's that meme with the stick. Do something.
Yeah. She knows. And again, if you're really in it to try to figure out what happened to Charlie, then why wouldn't you just drop it? Look, should I release more of the text chain tomorrow?
Look at Greg Locke.
Well, yeah, Greg Locke's over it, bro.
He's done.
That's what I mean. Like that tweet right there, I just don't understand it. I don't.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a Ben Shapiro guy at all, but I'll tell you what, everything that's going on, I don't hate Ben Shapiro, and it appears to be he's got the biggest balls out of all of them going on Megyn Kelly, and calling Candace out for accusing Erika. Nobody else big name was doing that. So, Ben, I tip my hat.
Understand the thought process of it, because if you've got the smoking gun and the smoking barrel, then why aren't you dropping it? I want us to find the part where Andrew says why he admits he's the one that actually took the screenshot. But before we do that, we got to get to our last sponsor, and that is from Perplexity, about their new AI assistant, Comet.
Let's say what you want about a certain group of people, but that certain group of people, they're not stupid. You are right, Amethyst. She did not read her contract. Or she might have, but she probably didn't comprehend what the contract says.
Thing is amazing. You guys need to check this video out here. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend every day on a web browser? How much time do you spend clicking around online, searching, scrolling, typing, endless tabs? It's a lot, isn't it? Well, there's a new AI web browser from Perplexity called Comet that is completely changing the way you're able to interact with your browser. Using Comet feels like having a personal assistant living in your web browser that can actually do things for you across the internet. Yes, do things, not just give you answers. You can ask Comment to handle tasks for you, and it Rumble Premium.
People that
We've
he had
heard
shared
this
his
part.
history with.
We've heard this part.
Right.
Do we
Skip those
have the
ads.
one where he talks
invited
about
him?
where he sent, where that he's the one?
Okay, so let's find a different video. He calls her out a little bit there. I mean, it's still pretty soft in my opinion. But that was October. So let's see if we can find something after that. Like at this point, guys, there are like I feel like at this point, many of us are already in the mocking stage of Candace Owens. Like we've pretty much given up on Grace and are already being attacked by Canditards regularly. So let's keep going. Candace Owens proven wrong on her comments about Egyptian planes. Yeah, it's not. That was an easy one. Candace and Alex freak out. Oh, hang on 1 second here, guys. Got a super chat from Audrey Unfiltered. Tim Pool was probably the loudest, just in my opinion. He was pissed at what she was doing. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, Tim, I don't know if he was the loudest. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. He was screaming. He was pretty loud. And his clip definitely went viral. So I agree. I don't remember, was that before Ben Shapiro went on Megyn Kelly? I don't recall. But yeah, I agree. For as far as like big, like Jeremy from the Quartering, I guess he's a decent sized content creator. He's been calling Candace out. Steven Crowder was like one of the first ones pushing back against Candace Owens. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry guys. All right, we gotta get back. I just want to find a good one. Like Erika Kirk reveals all. Okay, so a month ago he's talking about the Candace cult, so he's probably going decently hard in the paint there a month ago. Candace Owens, this is a month. I want to find something a little bit more. Okay, so we have a lapse here from 3 months to 1 month in content. So I don't know if he just stopped uploading clips to YouTube, if it's on Rumble, guys, but he's not. We'll see.
This
if
is
he's
Erika Kirk talking
Candace
about
in
her
this one
children receiving death threats. I know this very well. Mine get death threats all the time.
Actually,
I can only imagine what Erika has to deal with. Let's play this.
You're very protective of your children's privacy.
Yes.
As Charlie's profile grew, were you concerned?
We live in a day and age where the internet feels so entitled to everything. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Explain this, explain that. And we live in a world where children don't even have a childhood anymore.
Okay, this video was from November.
Why are you posting a photo of your kids so that you can get $50 off a stroller? Like, that does not make sense to me.
Crazy.
If you can't afford a stroller, buy one you can afford. Like, that makes sense to me. But to use your child or a photo.
I will watch this and I will hop on over to his Rumble channel and I'll check there. Does he do the same? Does he have live, but then also just do clips of his lives? Because it seems like he uploads them on YouTube.
Of you standing in the bathroom, embracing them specifically, and you have 500 copies of that same pose so you can get it right for social media is bizarre to me. And it was to Charlie too. And our babies are not for anyone else's viewing other than ours and our family.
I agree.
And
Megyn
why
sucks.
would I want AI images of my children out there? Why would I want, and yeah, we get kidnapping threats. We always have. We get death threats. We always have. You're just smart about it. Protect what you love. Protect who you love.
Man, you want to talk about an elegant An elegant young lady right there, man.
Well, but
God
here's the
bless
thing.
her.
Everybody attacks Erika because they find the way she answers things weird. Like women specifically are attacking Erika. And again, I'm not trying to like harp on women today, but the people that are talking the most crap about Erika Kirk right now are other women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she ain't doing it the way that they would do it, and because she ain't doing it the way that they would do it, then something's wrong with her.
Got a super chat from Cindy Lou Hoot. Okay, I'm going to say it. Do you think they were afraid they would be called racist if they called her out? At this point, no, I don't think so. I don't know that whole like you're a racist thing has much power anymore. I feel like that was so like 2017, and now you just don't care. People just don't like Gary and I were called racist on his show last night because of the whole Queen DEI hire. I don't care. You call me whatever you want to call me. So no, I don't think so. I think, and I'll quote Graham on this. I think Graham made a really good point on his show yesterday. I think people have skeletons and that they're afraid of Candace Owens exposing their skeletons. But I think they should still do it. Like, just own your shit. You got skeletons? Were you a naughty boy at one point in your life? Just admit it. Get it over with. I mean, unless it's like really bad. You know what I mean? Like really bad. Then I could see why, maybe you would be quiet. And I don't know Benny John. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Cindy. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I don't watch a ton of Benny stuff. And so correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure like Charlie kind of basically like saved Benny's life, right? Like Benny had some issues with substance abuse, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that's so like of all of them, Benny might have some, as somebody who has a history of things like that and certain behaviors that might come along with the territory, I can tell you that Benny probably has some skeletons that he's not necessarily like, oh, how despicable, right? But just stuff that he's ashamed of. Like that wouldn't surprise me. But still, too bad. Grab your balls.
Okay, so here's Erika talking about the conspiracy theories. I want to jump to that.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, let's play this. This is amazing. Let's see what she has to say about this. It's 2 minutes, but we're going to listen to all of it. Let's go.
There's other theories.
Or, guys, maybe they were closer to Candace Owens than they were to Charlie Kirk. Maybe they're closer to Candace's ideologies than they are to Charlie Kirk's. Maybe. I mean, if they're not going against Candace, they're just letting Candace do her thing. But claim to be part of Charlie's crew. They want to keep that TPUSA logo on their stuff every once in a while. But maybe they're loyal to Candace.
Swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died and became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself.
Maybe they want that CEO position. Maybe they got something against Erika too. Maybe they're a little jealous. I mean, we can speculate all day on what the hell is wrong with these people, but there's something wrong.
Because I need to guard my heart, and I need to be there for my kids, and I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently. Everyone is trying to figure out, and I don't blame them. How does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head?
Yeah, that was another thing with Dave Rubin. He comes out, was it December? He comes out and talks about, Candace was at dinner and we were making her favorite chicken parm. And the whole time she was just talking mad shit about Charlie Kirk. You couldn't tell us that in October, beginning of October? What the hell you wait until December, almost January to say something, or whenever it was?
Lost one of the greatest voices of our generation. Why? How? What's behind it? Like, everyone's trying to process this. And I respect that. But where my heart is just asking for some grace.
I'm doing a terrible job getting through these videos, guys. The Eclipse Truth. Well, the Hodge twins, obviously, Tucker, are closer to her. I think that's guys, I'm half retarded, all right? And Russell Brand. He sat there and challenged her on nothing. Correct. But at least it appears that they've chosen a side. At least they've had the balls to make a choice.
Is for the ones who were there that day.
Hmm.
They have to relive that every single day. He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer.
My time is completely
He was assassinated. And the difference between this and previous assassinations in this country is there was no social media. There was no AI. I can tell you how many fake images are out there of all of this. And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online, because it's going to impact his kids in the future. I don't want my kids to go on the internet one day when they're older and see things that it's just, we're all trying to process this in their own way, and I appreciate that.
Pause. All right. What an amazing answer. But here's my thing. Candace Owens says that the only people that can stop her are her husband and Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk just said the one thing she asked for is grace for the people who were there. Is that not her saying back off? Did she not just say that? Did she?
Amethyst Angel with the $5 super chat. We may never know. Why did she wait so long for? Why haven't they sued for not deplatforming Candace Owens? Probably hired legal strategists. Could be, but I feel like these guys can do their own thing. They don't need to wait for Erika's permission to defend them. That seems crazy. That just doesn't, in my mind, logically, that just doesn't track. That Erika could be like, no, please don't defend us. I could be wrong, though. I definitely could be wrong. This is just my opinion. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Hold on a second here.
Not just say that. So my question is, I'll be curious to see what Candace says today, but I wonder if she will back off. Because yesterday she was still attacking Mikey McCoy on a whole new rampage, just going to town on Mikey. And so Candace said the only person that can stop her. Now, what Candace is going to do is what Candace meant was specifically Erika Kirk's got to come to me, to my house. No, not call. That ain't even good enough. She's got to come to my house and she's got to tell me the truth of what happened, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, reveal to me everything that's in court, all this other kind of stuff, and then ask me, beg for me to stop. That's what she really meant. That's what she meant. And so I will be interested to see. I believe it's going to go something like this. I love Erika.
I think Candace has been jealous and envious and hateful towards Charlie Kirk, Erika Kirk, and TPUSA for a long time. Just what I think.
Erika's amazing. I can't imagine what she's going through right here. But something just feels off to me. Something just feels off. That's what you're going to see from Candace today. I'll go ahead and predict that.
Yep.
That's what you're going to see. Something's not right. Blink if you're being held hostage. You know, like something's not right. That's what's going to happen because it's not going to stop.
And for this whole
Probably
with
offered him
Erika,
a
God
lot of
bless
money,
her,
too.
because she's in a lose-lose situation. She is handling this with such grace, like a true
Who's this dude on
Proverbs
the right?
woman.
I
She
like
is
this guy on the
handling
right.
this so gracefully, but she's in a lose-lose situation because if she could be going scorched earth right now, and she's not doing it. But the thing is, whether she handling it the way she is or going scorched earth, Candace and Nick and the rest of these idiots would still be going after her regardless of what direction she chose. Go scorched earth, Erika. Just burn it all down.
All right. The last clip I want to show, this is Erika Kirk on the death penalty of Tyler Robinson. All right. We've already shown the clip that she's anti them not having cameras in the courtroom. She wants it.
Moonphase gazing, is that on Rumble that you're finding all of these videos where he's been calling out Candace Owens? Because the ones on YouTube, I don't know that I would say early on he was calling Candace Owens out. I'm not sure that's how I would describe it.
Wants the world to see what happened. She wants the world to see what happened.
Especially considering he claims to have all of this insider info about how toxic and how much of a leftist Candace Owens has always been. I feel like that would have been like one of the first things you did when you decided to take a stance and defend TPUSA. Right? And doesn't he claim to be a Christian Zionist? Well, she's accusing Israel of being involved with what happened to Charlie Kirk almost immediately. And you're not going, oh, hey, by the way, just so you guys know, I've known Candace for a long time and everybody knows this about her. She's a covert leftist who's only interested in money and she's extremely toxic. No, I'm going to wait till February of the next year to bring that up.
And so, here's another thing that I also believe. I also believe, because she said earlier that she's insulated herself, like if you think that she is posting on X and all this stuff, you've lost your mind. She is probably talking to somebody about what she wants to say, and somebody else is. I promise you, Erika Kirk has deleted her social media apps. I promise you she has. So I'm not even sure she's seen 30% of all the stuff that Candace is saying. If I had to guess. But anyway, we've already seen her.
Megan sucks.
She wants transparency in the courtroom.
Megan
she wants the world to know the truth. Okay, but this is her about the death penalty for Tyler Robinson. Let's hear what she has to say about that.
If convicted, do you think your husband's killer should get the death penalty?
I do not want this man's blood on my ledger when I stand before the Lord.
I mean, I guess I don't know what the relevancy of that is. Graham was working for the Pentagon until recently. So does he have a Pentagon contract that says he can't say Candace is a lying POS and that she's everybody know, like, I don't know what relevance that is.
I want the government to decide. It's biblical too. Justice will ultimately be served.
It hasn't stopped him from doing
If
shows.
convicted.
Man, that's tough right there. That's tough.
I'll say it for you, Erika. Kill him.
Yes.
I'll say it for you. Kill him. 1
Firing
million%.
squad.
1,000,000%.
Congratulations, Stargazer. Can we get some W's in the chat for Stargazer for earning the absolute privilege of being banned by Candace Owens in her chat? W's in the chat, guys.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Exact
Firing
same
squad.
way. Shoot him straight in the neck. That's what I would do.
100%. Next question.
Anyway, here's what I'm going to say. And here's my plea is this. Like, I've seen so many people attacking what Erika wears, how she hugs people, the things she says. I saw one person say that she was squirting teardrops in her eyes before she walked on. She had a freaking, like, tissue, you morons. Like, for those of you who claim you love Charlie so much, 2 months ago, you loved his wife too. And now all of a sudden, every one of you were talking all this crap and doing all this stuff, man. Like, none of you know how you would respond if your husband was one of the most famous people in politics and was assassinated in front of the world, you have to become the CEO of his company with over 1,000 employees, and it is considered the most effective ground game in politics in the country. The entire world is.
Okay, I got. When was this video? This was posted November 6th. Props, Graham. This is the energy I like. Where the hell was this end of September? I don't understand what was stopping him. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, he could go even harder, but this is what I would expect at the very least from somebody who's close to these people.
Is literally hanging off every single word that you say, every single thing that you do, and they're judging everything you wear, how your hair is. Are you crying enough? Are you crying too much? Are you smiling enough? Are you not smiling too much? Or are you not smiling enough? Are you smiling too much? All this stuff. What would you do? I'm telling you right now, if the roles were reversed, I'd flip every single one of you the one finger salute every single day. And I'd tell you where you could find me at the Turning Point headquarters if you had a problem with it. And she owes, here's the thing. I love what she said. We live in a world where everybody feels like they're owed everything. We had somebody a couple months ago send me an email and demand that I explain why we came back from Texas.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing, Betsy B. Betsy B says, I've noticed most people on Candace's YouTube didn't know Charlie. Yeah, and most of them had no idea, or they hated Charlie, or TPUSA, or both. That's a really common occurrence, is a lot of Candace supporters are people that did not like Charlie, that did not like TPUSA because of the Zionist aspect. And by Zionist, according to them, I'm pretty sure these people's definition of Zionist, this is why I say I'm not, is that they are Israel first. And I don't know. It used to just be, from my understanding, was a Zionist was just somebody who was like, you know what? Israel has the right to exist. Pretty simple, but it's turned into you are Israel first. And no, I am not Israel first in any way, shape, or form.
The gall of some people. I don't owe you. I owe you nothing except to show up every day and do this show, because that's what you're here for. That's what you support us for. That's what I owe you. I don't owe you a dang thing about my life, about my family, about what Todd's doing, about what Tony does, about what nothing. I owe you nothing. Erika Kirk owes us nothing when it comes to her family, how she's thinking, why she thinks the way she thinks, why she thinks the way she feels. And people need to back off of Erika Kirk, because you're disrespecting Charlie Kirk, because you're disrespecting his wife, you're endangering his kids, and shame on every one of you. And that's all I got to say about that. We got to raid the vents. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button right now. We need every single one of you to hit the like button. The more you hit the like button, the more people see this.
Is that an insult? I'm not sure. How many other people in the chat are talking like they're unvaxxed? I'm going to take that as a compliment.
And also, we're getting ready to go premium. So if you're not already a premium member, make sure that you become a Rumble Premium member right now. You get our after show. You get.
Yeah, 100%. I believe the Turning Point guys messed things up too. Colbert gave her way too much info. Yeah, they did. I agree 100%. And what was the camera guy's name? The one that took the SD card. Isn't he the one that was texting Candace and then the one that eventually showed her? Like, what the hell was that guy thinking? Where'd you think that was going to go?
Everybody else's premium content and no more ads. If you agree that you stand with Erika Kirk and the Kirk family, let's get some American flags in the chat.
Okay, so November 6th. I mean, I would say he's definitely challenging
This
Candace.
is Erika Kirk.
Back in November. It's I don't know what it's just really surprising to me that he wouldn't have been one of the loudest voices early on, being somebody who's claiming to be so close to Charlie and Erika. Let me see if I can find. I'll try to go back through. You know what? Is it just Graham Allen on Rumble, or does he have like a name on Rumble? I don't even have a Rumble account, guys. Or I mean, I do, but I don't have like an auto sign in. Do I go to videos? Does he clip 8 months ago? Okay, well that's so it's just his lives. Let me try to go a little ways back here. I have no idea who you're talking about, but I most likely agree with you, Endless Summer. They are all idiots. For sure. Me included. Okay, so here's 4 months back. Let's just kind of sift through. Turning Point reveals the truth about Charlie's text. Okay, so we watched a clip from that one on YouTube. Guys, help me out. Did he put Candace in the thumbnails? Charlie will never be forgotten. I know I'm going through his live streams. I'm trying to find him here. Insane Libs. Okay. Kamala Crash Out. Okay, was it just something like he would bring up during a live, or was it like the main point of his live streams? Hold on, we'll bring up this super chat here real quick from Lisa Dotson, $1.99. Thank you for the super chat. Candace didn't go after Erika at first. She didn't. No, she went after Israel at first. And Graham, among many of these other people, claim to be Christian Zionists. So it's just interesting that, especially considering, again, I'm going to keep going back to this point because Graham said it. They've known this whole time how toxic Candace is, how much of a covert leftist she is, how nobody trusts her. So even though right away she's not going after Erika, she's going after Israel, these Christian Zionists aren't going, hey, just so you all know, here's the truth about Candace Owens before you guys start believing anything she has to say anymore. By the way, we're sorry that we didn't put this out before, but now that it's out there, it needs to be confronted. That just feel like that would have been nice. Would have been a nice thing to know, to have confirmation on. I'm sure most people have suspected it, but it's one thing to suspect something. It's another thing for somebody to be within that circle, behind the scenes, know it, and say it. Or is he lying? Is he just saying what he thinks people want him to say? I don't know. Lisa Dotson, $1.99. I saw a lot of his clips on Facebook and X. Yeah, I would say his X is probably his biggest platform. I think he has 500 some thousand followers on X. What does he have on Rumble? 230. I mean, he's not small. He's not a small creator. I'm getting distracted by the chat trying to find these videos. I probably could have like really spent a lot of time going through and finding all of this stuff, but I wanted to just do it live and just go through my daily struggle, let you guys see how not fun this is at all to try to find clips from all of these people's content to put together like a puzzle piece. Candace Owens backs down. It's time to burn all of this insanity to the ground. Okay, this was 2 months ago. So this is, can I not? This was December 5th. So December 5th, like, this is what I mean. Here's a title: Candace Owens backs down. It's time to burn all of this insanity to the ground. It wasn't time to do that, like, in October? Oh, no. Well, it's only an hour. We'll just
Another episode.
skip through.
We
some
couldn't
stuff
do
here.
this without our good sponsors, our friends over at Blackout Coffee. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Graham. Promo code Graham's going to save you 20%. The infamous coffee mug. That's blackoutcoffee.com/Graham.
he's gonna
They
be
know
sponsors.
that Candace Owens will go nuclear on them. Candace Owens has become what we used to fight against back in 2015, 2000.
Kaylee, I wanted to read this and then I got distracted. Sorry. I just wish people would have called her out about never being a conservative after she was on her own. Instead, we had years of her deceiving millions. Yeah. Yep. Guy, don't disagree at all with that.
2016 for the modern left. What do I mean by that? Everyone is terrified to speak out or challenge or question Candace Owens. I've had so many conversations with so many people.
Because you were looking at the titles, but he talked about Candace Owens in most of his videos. That's a fair argument, guys. I'm doing this live. Like, I don't know how fun it would be me just clicking on every one of his videos, trying to find in an hour or 2 long hour episode where he's talking about Candace. So I'm just trying to go with the easiest, obvious ones and see what he's saying. So this is December. Like, I don't know. I feel like Candace gets a lot of clicks, gets people a lot of clicks. Why would you not put her in the thumbnail? But that's fine. So I'm trying to make this YouTube friendly. Doesn't matter.
Name
Doesn't matter.
people that you know, they are terrified to challenge Candace Owens. Why? Because Candace Owens is the epitome of vile, uncontrolled sociopath. What do I mean by that? They're afraid to
I like
go
the
after
chat,
Candace
too.
Owens because
Way
they
better
know
chat
that
than Jay
Candace
Witt's chat.
Owens will go nuclear on them, weaponize and borderline deputize her following to go harass, investigate, show up
kidding,
at
Jay
their
Witt. I love you.
houses, show up where they work, ruin their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a woman to be followed. This is not an example to follow through because she's leading by. This is dangerous. What she's doing is dangerous. Now, I also believe, and my argument for today is going to be that what Candace Owens did yesterday by denying Turning Point's opportunity allotted to her to prove her case as cowardice. Many people have come to her defense, coming at me saying that they don't believe that to be true. And I have every single argument that was made yesterday, and we're going to go through every single one, and I'm going to debunk every single one of them, and we're going to talk about it. And here's my final thing I'm going to say for the monologue today. There's many of you who disagree with me about Candace Owens.
What makes
We've
sure
lost
you say
20% of the
I was
audience
kidding
since
and
we've
that
come
I love
out
you,
against
Jay
Candace
Witt.
Owens and the way
Include
that she's
that.
doing it.
Don't
And
go
I
Candace
mean this
on
with
me now.
every fiber of my being. I don't care. And I mean it with every fiber of my being. We're going to lose people today, and that's fine. Go. Because here's where I am. After what she did yesterday, and after I'm done here, if you still are on Candace Owens' side, I'm done. I'm done, and I do not care. There are too many things. She has done such damage to our movement and to our cause. I do believe the fact that we're going to lose the midterms, and Candace Owens is going to play a major part in that. Not the total part. That's a false statement, but a large part.
Do you see how he's talking in this video? Can I use this as an example? I'm going to default to your guys' opinion because a lot of you obviously have been paying more attention to Graham than I have. Has he had this energy since it started? Not even since it started. Let's just say late September, going into October. Has he had this same energy? And if not, why? We're not talking about some random YouTuber, some obscure YouTuber who doesn't have any connection to these people on a personal level. This is somebody who's close to Charlie, who was behind the scenes, who knows all of these people. Why didn't he have this energy from the jump when there's a ton of small creators that had this energy or more energy pushing back against Candace Owens? That's all I'm saying. We just watched videos where he didn't have this energy at all in September and October. Granted, it was late September. It was the 16th, but still, most people were going, really? Israel? Right at the jump. But then we watched the one in October, and even then, his co-host had more of this energy than he did. But maybe I'm wrong.
Art, if you agree with anything I'm saying, I want you to put a comment in the comment section right now. We've got a lot to talk about. Very short time to do it. Let's bring in everybody's favorite redneck hot seat, Todd. Let's go.
Yep. Love you.
Why? I don't want him to call Candace Owens. I want him to call Candace Owens publicly, call her out publicly about how much of a fraud she is. If that's what he said he's known this whole time and everybody behind the scenes know this, I don't want there to be a little secret. I don't want them to have little backdoor deals and to figure out how they're going to play everybody on social media. Like, I want them to call out the bullshit. Otherwise, what are we doing? What are we doing? I get bamboozled enough from the government. I don't need influencers to be bamboozling the shit out of us too. I want honesty. I want transparency. I want real people.
You guys, you're not stealing my joy.
I don't want people how to figure out how they keep their paycheck coming in. I want them to be honest. I want them to have some balls.
Like, I'm going to the SEC championship game tomorrow. You ain't stealing my joy. So,
all right. So we're going to jump right into this today. And Todd has already made it aware this is going to be a big episode where he's just doing this a lot of the time. Okay, so let's walk through this. Okay, so yesterday, everybody knows that Turning Point USA said that they were going to have a live.
I think that goes out the window when you're a public influencer. And it's not like they're having a disagreement. He's calling her a toxic, covert leftist that everybody's known about. It's not like, oh, Candace is a little critical of Israel, and I had a little chat with her behind the scenes to try to understand more of her perspective on why she's critical of Israel's government. Like, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Candace is a fraud and is grifting like crazy, and they're just all playing along with it. That's different, in my opinion.
Stream of which they were going to go after every single allegation, which is probably going to be a 4.5-hour live stream, if we're being honest.
Be long.
And so they said that it would be alluded to at a later time what the specifics would be. Candace Owens accepted that challenge. Let's play the video of her accepting the challenge.
I will go back to my earlier statement on this. It's very clear Charlie, if this is how he operated, was the only one who was good at it, because since he's been gone, look what we have. So, if you don't have a Charlie Kirk who's able to keep the peace, maybe it's time that we just air all of the dirty laundry and find some new people to listen to. And I'm not talking about me. Like, I want more honest, real influencer. Like, I want people who have a large audience, who talk about conservative policies, and who are essentially spokespeople for the right. I want them to be good people. I don't care if they have skeletons in their closet, but I want them to be accountable for them and to own them publicly, so they can't be used against them to corrupt them.
Challenge. We're not going to make any of this up. We are just going to play her exact words for you right now. Let's play it.
Everything they could to stop Charlie's rise, breaking bread with them, and refusing to have a conversation with me, and you know that I cared about Charlie. Have you no shame? We're going to find out. You can pick the place. You can pick the time. I say we do it tomorrow. We don't need to plan for this. We don't need lawyers in between us, lawyer statements.
Pause it.
How
That's
I
it.
roll,
That's
okay?
it. Okay. You can pick the place. You can pick the time. Go back to us, Todd. You can pick the place. You can pick.
Okay, so this is from, that was from, what did I say? December 5th. Okay. I think we can be honest here and say that December 5th, it was a little easier to really push against Candace because there was a pretty good amount of people at this point pushing against Candace Owens. Not necessarily big influencers, but there was a lot of pushback on Candace at this point. So let me go back. I'll go back further. And I don't know, guy. Like, do I, if she's not in the thumbnail, do I just click a random one and see what he's saying? Like, I feel like that would be boring and could take too much time. I completely disagree. And no, because then you would have to deal with people like Megan. No, yuck, ick. No, I'm good. Okay, maybe I'll just find one with Charlie in the thumbnail. That's Libs dressing up. I don't know if I want to watch that on YouTube necessarily. Here we go. Party at War. We must fix it. This was November 7th.
Been lying grifters the entire time, and they sense a change is coming, so they're trying to make sure that their careers are going to be good. Am I the crazy one? It's possible. Or have they been lying grifters the entire time, and they sense
okay, this might be good. When
Congress
was this, guys?
Ever.
My bad. November 7th.
Starting to look that way, and it's fracturing and chaos.
Sorry, I'm trying to...
Owens are still in denial.
Trying to get past anything he has.
I don't know. And the biggest thing is this. We are on track to lose in 2026. We just are. Some of you are still in denial about that.
Yes.
But we are.
More big balls.
Lose. Yesterday, Candace Owens exclaimed to the heavens how she was the #1 show in the entire world. In her past 30
I do, but the way my super chats work, like if I miss them, they're gone. So if you super chatted, just retype it in the chat quick while I'm paying attention, and I will read it. I do. If I miss super chats, guys, call me out. I apologize. I do not try to miss those, but they don't stay up for me because I'm not using the fancy StreamYard stuff. So I will. If you super chatted, please just retype it in the, just say super chat in the comment and then whatever your comment was. And I will most definitely pull it up. And thank you 1,000 times for your wonderful super chat.
8 episodes have been about nothing more than every conspiracy known to man about Charlie Kirk. It's been nothing more than tearing apart every single member of the conservative movement that she can think of. It has done nothing to this day. There is nothing that has unified. There is nothing that has brought clarity. There's been nothing except chaos, destruction, turmoil, fracturing, and chaos. Same thing within our GOP on Capitol Hill. Lord knows that's a nightmare. We already called it at the beginning. Is this?
I want to be clear. I'm definitely not saying that Graham is not a good dude. He's probably a really good dude. Like, and he's a combat veteran. Like, don't get it twisted, or don't mistake what I'm saying as like, I'm not trying to insult Graham. I just want to hold people accountable, and I want them to be better. That's it. And not just Graham. It just so happens I was being critical of Graham, and well, now we're here, but it's all of them. It's not just Graham. And I'm not saying at all that he's a bad person. He's probably a really good fucking dude.
The worst Congress ever. It's starting to look that way, and it's starting to feel that way. Apparently, all of a sudden, Daily Wire member
G.I. Jen says, if you did super chat, thank you. I'm thinking that's what you meant here. Charlie helped me get my intelligence community podcast up 10 years ago. I've been calling Candace out since day one. She blocked me almost immediately. W's in the chat for G.I. Jen for being an absolute badass for calling Candace out right away and getting banned almost immediately. W's in the chat for G.I. Jen.
are on CNN. Freaking Marjorie Taylor Greene is best friends with Caitlin Collins on CNN.
If you did super chat, thank you for the super chat. If you didn't super chat and you're just trying to game the system, congratulations. You are smart.
On. We get our butts handed to us on Tuesday, and I sit here today and I look around, and there's a lot of things that I don't recognize right this second. There's a lot of people who I've known for many years that I do not understand what is happening. Am I the crazy one? It's possible. Or have they been lying grifters the entire time and they sense a change is coming, so they're trying to make sure that their careers are going to be good after the fact? I'm going to let you answer that question.
Okay, listen, guys. I'm watching this intro here clip. This was from November 7th. I like it. I mean, oh man, I wish he would have just came out swinging with what he said yesterday, like right away. Just come out, man. Just come out and let it fly. Let the honesty overtake the noise. But yeah, man, I like this.
For yourself,
and this was
our conversation
super
today.
early November,
first,
so it's like right
cheers.
there. Maybe all of you people in the chat who have been giving me a hard time have been fairly correct. In which case, you got me. But I don't think I'm all the way wrong. It's going to be I think I'm still a little right in being critical that he should have went hard in the paint from the jump, especially considering he claims to have all of this insider knowledge about Candace Owens. Somebody's got to do it, guys. Right? Somebody's got to be the one to hit the reset button. Why not Graham? Why not?
Blackout coffee. Hold on. It's like manna from heaven. Thank you, Lord.
No, I disagree. I disagree, Samantha. You go full ham. That's really all. That's really all I have. I don't know if I need to say more to that. I disagree. You need to go full ham. This is like, no. You need to jump.
You need to check out our friends over at Blackout Coffee. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Graham. Promo code Graham is going to save you 20%. Stop drinking Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. Woke crap. You can dunk your dough.
Fran, excuse me? I'm a little right and a lot wrong. Are you sure? Maybe I'm a little right and a little wrong.
Nuts somewhere else, not on our freedom, that's for sure. Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Graham. Promo code Grahams going to save you 20%. Go right now. All right, we need you to hit that like button, hit that share button if you agree with everything I just said, and or you're ready for the show. Let's get those American flags blowing up in the chat right now, and let's bring in everybody's favorite redneck. Hot Seat Todd is here.
Cheers, my brother. Cheers. Blackout coffee. It's the only way to go, folks. I'm here to tell you. It's the only way to go. Love it.
You know, we always have an outline of how we want these shows to.
Amethyst, but Candace Owens didn't target Erika till later. He went scorched earth once she invoked New Age crap and speaking their daughter's name. That was the final straw. That's why he didn't come strong sooner. I don't know if I'm going to hear a good enough excuse as to why he didn't go full on right away. And that just might be my own bias. But for somebody that has the background that he has, that knows the people he does, who was that close, I don't know how you don't go full ham right away and try to do your best to put a stop to it before it gets to where we are now. Granted, he probably would have failed. He probably wouldn't have been successful. But more voices might have come out by now had he done so. And we will never know because he didn't.
Go, but I just man, we gotta.
Can we do it?
I don't want to reveal stupid intelligence on my phone. I had some conversations. Yes,
that's another really good argument, is that a lot of these guys they aren't super focused like most of us are on this issue. That's fair. Like they still have a show. They still have a job to do. They still have a show to do to cover, current events, politics, whatnot. But this is a pretty big deal. There's a lot of people paying attention to this. And I think it's pretty important. These are the people that we watch. These are the people that we listen to. So it's a pretty big deal whether or not they're compromised. To me, anyway.
Yesterday, with people I've known for many, many, many years at Turning Point USA, and I'm not going to give any names away and things like that because things have served in.
Candace has been leading her audience into the TPUSA and Erika Kirk thing for months. It was before this cease and desist. It was before that. I mean, it started, I don't even remember what month it was, but she was going at Mikey McCoy and Rob McCoy and was his name Terrell, the camera person guy? Like she was and Ian Carroll and all the other guys, they were ready to go hard at Erika Kirk. They were like just waiting for Candace to really start pushing and drop that ball. But they were there. They were already doing it. They were already saying, oh, her reaction at the memorial was wrong. That was weird and suspect. That was the memorial.
Confidence, but what I heard,
terrible
internally about what's going on at Turning Point USA because of mainly one individual. You got people that are basically having to be in protective custody. Mm-hmm. You've got open, like legit severe death threats from our side.
Yeah.
To people within the Turning Point administration. I mean, you got people showing up and walking around that are not there to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk anymore. And it is specifically because of one person. And I'm sitting here and I know these people. I know their families. I know the kids that they got and or on the way. And I'm just sitting here going, how in the world are we at a point where this is okay? Here's my question. There's no way that this said person doesn't know that that's going on. Why doesn't she disavow it?
Yes, huge shout out to, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Ami, but I see his content. His skits are hilarious. If you guys aren't familiar, he's the one that I think he pretty much started getting popular because of his Tucker Carlson impressions, but he's great. He's hilarious. He was on Jay Witt's show earlier today, which I completely missed and am still pretty sad about.
Why doesn't she rebuke it entirely? Why doesn't she tell her crazed fans to calm down? Why? Why is it yesterday that this one particular person...
Old mean lady, you can't come and do something like a rogue soldier that could jeopardize an ongoing operation. I'm certain he followed Erika's directions regarding this. You could be right. Again, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Spent the whole day saying that She's never been happier in her entire life. She's elated. She's on cloud 9. Her show is the #1 show. That sounds like someone who's interested in justice, who's interested in getting to the bottom of it. Doesn't it?
We'll see.
Because, see, I watched her show a little bit yesterday, and I was like, okay, maybe, just maybe because of Erika's thing, maybe she'll do what we said. Remember what we said? When Erika was like, my only ask is that you show grace to the people that were there on that day, their families, all the above. I thought, okay, that's the line. She is going to see that line, and she's finally going to be like, okay, I need to back off a little bit.
No.
To be honest with you, I don't see this happening. John Martin says TPUSA needs to get rid of Megan and Tucker. And I don't know, like, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't have them, but then it also wouldn't surprise me if they continue to have them. They haven't. They're kind of riding the fence a little bit. Maybe that's too graceful. I think they're being wusses, but I don't know that TPUSA is not going to have them speak anymore because they still have big audiences. It's just the way it is. I don't like it, but.
And all she did was talk about how weird it was Erika dodged a question, or she did this, or she did that. See, she did exactly what I said she was going to do.
Endless Summer Rose. This Graham isn't very talented. Maybe that's why he wasn't noticed. I didn't know him. I mean, everybody's got their own, you know what I mean? Like you either relate to a person or you don't. I don't know if I'm gonna, you said it, not me. I don't know if I'm gonna say he's talentless, right? But I did make the comment on Gary's show yesterday that maybe he just wasn't as big of a creator as I thought he was. But like, regardless, I feel like anybody who's that close to Charlie and is going to come out, like, they're going to, like, you know what I mean? Do I follow some of you on X? How come I haven't seen you posting Graham's stuff about him calling Candace out for the last 4.5 months or however long it's been? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like somebody that close to the situation, if they have something real to say, it would get traction. Look at Tim Pool. I think Graham was probably closer to Charlie Kirk than Tim Pool was. And Tim Pool goes on and freaks out and calls Candace some names. And that goes viral immediately.
There's never going to be enough. She could have parchment paper with feathered scroll with a wax stamp of the family crest sent directly to Candace Owens to make her shut her pothole mouth, and she will not do it. The next episode would be like, Erika Kirk just threatened me. What kind of grieving widow would do such a thing? And then here's another thing. This is the insanity. And yes, I'm going on it because I'm tired of it. So if this pisses you off, get off the feed because you're not going to like any of this.
Finally.
Yes. She did this weird thing where she was talking about.
Did I miss another super chat? Sorry, if I missed another super chat, I apologize. Wish you guys could see what I'm looking at. There's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. There was a comment in here I wanted to touch on though quick. Here we go. Favorite daughter, Bronson, was your feeling Graham was sounding holier than thou, like I'm doing this now and you should be too? No, I don't get like a holier than thou feeling. I think everything he's saying is like accurate and good. I don't know why the hell he wasn't saying it like October, beginning of October. I don't know. I don't know what he was waiting for is all I'm saying. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm concerned about being taken advantage of by all of these bigger accounts, right? So like we have, we're just forget about like and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other content creators that have been pushing hard against Candace this entire time. And all of a sudden, these larger influencers that have been waiting for it to become somewhat popular to push back against Candace are just going to come in and now steal the audience. Like, no, fuck you. Where you been? That's I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at a little bit. And I'm not talking about me. Don't care. Don't care. But there are people like Gary from Paramount Tactical, Jay Witt. These guys have been going hard and taking all kinds of heat. And I want to see them who I think are very good, honest people. I want to see them get recognition. I want to see them increase their audience. I'll just say it outright. I want to see them replace some of these other talking heads that we have. That's what I don't want to see happen. I don't want to see these people all of a sudden go, okay, it's cool now to push back against Candace, and then just come in and steal the show.
The fact of how weird it was that the UVU event came together so quickly. And she showed screenshots of how they contacted her about speaking 10.
Okay, here we go. G.I. Jen, super chat. I was letting you know I have 3 FOIs out on George Farmer. He has very deep ties to UAE. That interesting. I don't know if you're on X, but I am at Rage Bronson YT. If you don't follow me already, shoot me a follow. If you do, just tag me something so I'll follow you back if I don't already follow you. Let's see. Amethyst Angel, I know you have a super chat in here. I just seen it. Can I pull it up? I can. All right. Amethyst Angel with another $5 super chat. We need to stop shoulder over TPUSA. We don't know what their contractual obligations are. Look how long it took to release Candace Owens. I mean, that you kind of got me on that one. So, but I'm still going to have my opinion. But listen, I don't know. We're kind of winding down here. We're getting towards the end. I will go out and say that it appears to me that at the very least, Graham has been giving Candace a little bit of grace early on, but at least talking sense and speaking out. And he eventually, from what it appears, definitely started pushing back harder and harder against Candace Owens. So I will just say that I'll eat the crow. I was wrong. Graham has been doing, although I wish, man, I'll eat crow. Graham's been doing a good job. He has been calling out Candace from very early on. I just wish, knowing what we know now, because of what Graham said yesterday or the day before on his show, that he would have went harder at Candace sooner. And not just Graham. The rest of these people. So if for whatever reason Graham sees any of this, I apologize for being super critical and making it sound like you were not pushing against Candace Owens up until recently. You definitely appears you've been pushing against Candace. Your co-host has been doing a better job though. Or guest or whoever, but yeah, if you guys want, feel free to hop over to X and follow me. I try, anybody who follows me, I try to follow them back. Unless you guys are like weird. And obviously anybody in this chat right now is not going to be weird. So I will most likely follow you back. Todd is the co-host. Yeah, I like him. He was calling her cuckoo from the jump. Right? That was September 16th already. And he was doing the whole cuckoo Candace. Solid. Stargazer, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. X is for somebody like me, it's a very entertaining place. For sane people, it's definitely not where you want to be. I agree. I think there's definitely levels to it. on the weirdness, but I followed you and didn't get a follow back. I must be weird. Crap. Is it Audrey Unfiltered? Is it the same name on X or is it a different name? Because I will definitely correct that right now. And by right now, I mean after the live stream. Just tag me in a post. Okay, apparently, guys, I suck. And I'm completely full of shit. I thought for sure I was following people back. Tag me in a post, KZ. I will follow you back. Twitter is the Wild West. Absolutely. Absolutely. And depending on how bad your algorithm is, it can be a very toxic place. Which in my case, it tends to be a pretty toxic place. You know how like boomers used to, they would get up if there's any boomers in the chat, I don't mean this in a derogatory way. But boomers would like get up and they would read the newspaper while they had their morning. That was like their morning routine. X is my newspaper. I think it's most people's newspapers. I almost feel, actually, I kind of feel boomerish saying that, but I don't, yes, I rule. I don't have the energy for X. I get it. Takes a special kind of person to be able to withstand X for extended periods of time. Jack, you are special. You know you're special. Did my camera just go like out of focus? Does that help? Or maybe my eyes went out of focus. All right, I don't think I have any more super chats. If it, yeah, you you might want to definitely limit your social media time then if 30 seconds it really starts getting to you. That's not good. Same. It's the quickest place to get news on current events. It just really is. Well, happy belated birthday, Amethyst Angel. Just turned 63 yesterday. I'm a proud Zoomer, ex-Oomer. Can't really say Zoomer that way, can we? Because that's a different gen. Doesn't matter. If you've never had anything, but you're missing a lot. You are out of the loop. And you should definitely get on X, unless you're already on X and you're just saying, like, up to a point you haven't had it. Now you do. No, listen, X is a special place for special people. You know, I'll be honest with you. I wish I hadn't been as much on X during that time because there was a lot of like you know with what happened on 9/10. Like I would have preferred to have not seen that. Just me personally. And you like if you opened X, you could not see that. Bronson, go back to the clipped truth comments about advertisers. Oh, I don't know if I'm capable of that. I will try. Or maybe they can type the comment again. I'm looking for clipped truth. How far back was it? That might be too far back for my little system here. Endless Summer Rose. I'm on Substack most time. On X, I'm more political and share animals in need. Just followed you. I am not on Substack. I don't do Substack. I think generally if there's anything like important enough that comes out on Substack, somebody shares it on X. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were not expecting to see what they saw when they opened X that day. That was terrible. G.I. Jen, if you need help with some of your social media, I'd be happy to do so. I used to run all the social media for Steven Seagal. Damn! Steven Seagal? Is he dead? He's not dead, right? Like, he's just like super fat now? Steven Seagal's OG. Man, I used to watch Steven Seagal movies growing up. That's crazy. And yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I could use any help I can get. We've never seen anything. I'm assuming you meant to say like this before in American history. Nope. We sure haven't. That was would have preferred to have not seen that at all. And that's just everything's in 4K now, which is a good thing and maybe not such a good thing. Hodge twins are hook, line, and sinker for Candace. Yeah, that was a bummer. They could have at least made that episode funny. They could have cracked it. Like the one time they tried to crack a joke, they were cracking on Tatum, and Candace shut that down real quick, didn't she? What is my camera's problem today? Oh, would you focus up? Am I too close? I think a lot of people were disappointed in him. That was I mean, I wasn't expecting much, to be honest with you, but the least they could have done was crack a joke. Did I miss the eclipse again? God, I suck at this. I will get better, I promise, I think. Or I will at least try to get better. Ben told me how to do something, and then I completely ignored him. So now I'm going to try what he said to do and see if that works. I don't see the advertiser comment she made or they made. Eclipse Truth. My bad. I think you're not a she. It's hard. Your profile picture is super teeny, and I've seen you plenty of times. So forgive me for being an idiot. Many people have watched some themselves. I'd encourage people to email her sponsors if they feel strongly. Is that what Amethyst was referring to? So they said they've heard from many people and have watched some themselves. I'd encourage people to email her sponsors if they feel strongly. I mean, if you guys want to do that, you've known who Candace's sponsors are. I don't know that. I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. I probably won't be emailing anybody's sponsors trying to get sponsorships canceled. But if you go, I mean, I'm not gonna say what to do either way. I just don't know that I would that I'll be doing that. I think I would rather just push back and fight words with words. Okay, so that was the one. All right. Cool. Fancy little trick there, Ben. Fancy. Fancy little trick. I'm learning. Samantha, I've quit following a lot of channels since Charlie got shot. They all exposing themselves as straight up grifters. Yeah. There's definitely, listen, 910 exposed a lot of people. And I think it's going to continue to expose a lot of people. Yes. Definitely need humor. Always need humor. Even in the darkest of times. Need some humor. Betsy B, it's all about the money. For a lot of them, it's about money, but I think a lot of them, there's a lot of ego involved too, guys. Like, yuck. I can't imagine the egos on some of these people. KCB, I'm not a fan of cancel culture, no matter how infuriating. I just pulled the Candace there. No matter how infuriating I think some people are. Definitely a free speech absolutist, 100. Yeah, what's the deal with Michael Knowles? How is he not like, he's Catholic too, right? How is he not like, hey, no, Candace bad. To a certain extent, I agree that power and money go hand in hand, but influence goes a long way too. And you don't necessarily need a ton of money to have influence. I think the more influence you end up getting, the more money comes along with that. But that's not something you necessarily need to be powerful in being influential. Uh-oh, who's breaking the law? Pretty sure she's breaking the law. I'm not a freedom absolutist. I'm an honor absolutist. Based. I rule. Also remember that their orbit is small. Someone came out and said that at Tucker's Xmas party. Candace and TPUSA peeps were there. I mean, I did. G.I. Jane, did anyone watch Gary from Paramount Tactical when he was talking about Chuck Ritter being shot in the back and still fighting? Chuck is my dear friend. Yes, I think quite a few people were probably watching that. I'm pretty sure he talked about that last night on a show. So yes, very cool. Chuck Ritter. That's a bad mofo right there. I didn't think Knowles has said anything. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't recall hearing anything coming out of Michael Knowles about Candace Owens. But yes, Matt has at least addressed it. Knowles has talked to, he might have. I don't watch much Michael Knowles. Trying to think of the last thing I watched from Michael Knowles besides the Charlie Kirk show right after 910 happened. I think it was when he had that I forget the guy's name, but they were talking about the Shroud of Turin, which was a great episode. By the way, if you guys didn't know, Gary had that same guy on talking about the Shroud of Turin. That was a while back, but if you haven't seen that, I definitely highly recommend you go watch it. Catherine Brandon, Knowles hasn't. He's the godfather of her child, but he's not doing any favors by staying quiet. That's wild. Eclipse Truth. I'm for free speech too. Don't get it twisted, but I'm also for consequences to irresponsible speech that sends lunatics after people and their families. Common sense, folks. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was great. Both Michael Knowles and Gary's episodes on that were fantastic. Angela Goodwin. But we didn't know how bad she was going to get this bad and turn on Erika. A lot of people saw it coming very, very early on, just by the way that her followers were talking in both her X comments, in her live chats. Like a lot of people knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. Yeah, that was another really good point that Graham brought up. So like I feel like I was like attacking Graham, and I'm just being critical. I want to be critical of at this point, after what we're seeing from all of these people, I think being critical of them is definitely warranted. But yeah, no, that was a good point when he says, that their children are, the kids are going to grow up and they're going to, where were you? Why weren't you defending my family? Yeah. Jojo. I definitely knew it was coming. It was one of the first reasons I started calling her out. Her chats were crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. A lot of us were doing that. Haley hopes. Graham also works for the Pentagon as the Director of Communications and Public Engagement. He definitely isn't just a grifter. I hope not. Rail 80. Ben said it in early November, and Megan said he was lying. Okay, I couldn't remember the exact timeline of when Ben was on the Megyn Kelly show calling Candace out for accusing Erika. So I will take your word for it. I see your super. I was getting to it. Amethyst with another $5 donation. It's no longer cancel culture. We've moved on to consequence culture. You're free to say what you want. You could end up toothless and broke. However, if what you say is truth, you might be toothless and broke, but your spirit and soul will be warm and cozy. And by spirit and soul, they're the same thing. You guys know what I meant. Words are hard sometimes, all right? Thank you for the super chat. Anybody who sent, if I met, like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like the one thing I wanted to not do was miss super chats, and I suck at it. So if you sent in super chats, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you didn't, that's okay too. Haley hopes. My cousin works very closely with him. I've met him in person twice, and he seems to be a very genuine and kind person. I have no idea who you're talking. If you're talking about Graham, I'm like, guys, I would assume Graham's probably a pretty good dude. I mean, I'm sure he's not without sin, right? But yeah, no, like I didn't. My intention on this was never to be like Graham's a bad person. I just where the hell you been, man? Get louder. Get louder. That's all. Listen, Whitney Stormy, you're still new at this live streaming. We understand. And by every time I mean the second time, I'm surprised it works when I click the button. All right. It is shocking to me that everything seems to be working. Oh, here we go. Have a good time at your union meeting. Take it easy, Ben. Appreciate you. Oops. From the S-Files, the way I look at it, Megyn Kelly is already rich. She would probably be fine even if she lost some viewers. I think what's her, it's her ego. Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I gotta really want to be careful what I say. To me, Megyn Kelly kind of falls into that grifter category. I don't know how much I trust Megyn Kelly, but just my opinion. Kimberly Mitchell, Michael and Candy go to the same church. Didn't know that. That's wild. The Eclipse Truth, spirit and soul are actually not the same thing. Thought that for a long time too, but that's the beauty. Our walls with the Lord, we grow with time in sanctification. I am but a humble, constantly failing Christian, but I'm trying. I've gotten better. I think I've only swore a few times in this entire live stream, guys. Haley hopes I don't trust Megyn at all. As a woman, she sets off all of my intuitions. Careful. Careful with those vibes. But I agree. I don't I'm not a Megyn Kelly person. Never have been. She was a very stern anti-Trumper at first. I don't know. I just eh. G.I. Jen, does anyone find it odd that Candace talks about being a good Catholic but also speaks of third eyes? G.I. Jen, I find a lot of things Candace says to be very odd. And that's being nice. Megyn Kelly saying she won't speak out against Candace out of rebellion because people keep telling her to is such a cop-out. I agree. And she totally skipped over the entire point of why people are pushing back against Candace when she was on Piers Morgan. She defaulted to it's the Israel thing, and I'm not gonna, like, really? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that have an issue with her accusing Israel of it. But that's not where the most of the pushback is coming from, Megyn, and she knows it. I didn't really even start watching Megyn Kelly till mid 2024. So I didn't know about Bombshell till like, yeah. Yeah, you should just go when you have spare time, go look at like old stuff from Megyn Kelly on her views just from, less than a decade ago. Doesn't really match up with the person she's trying to be today, but people change. People can change their views. I just don't know if I trust her that much. I watched Megyn on Fox for years. She is icky. Eclipse Truth. We're all doing our best, but all fall short of the glory of God. Amen. I'm still struggling with smoking, so please don't take my comment as if I think I got it all figured out. I did not take your comment that way in any way, shape, or form. And good luck with the smoking thing. Tough one to break. I agree too. I agree with this. I think this is a lot of, and I think we're kind of seeing that now. It was kind of obvious before, but you weren't sure at like what cost. these people were willing to choose themselves and their money over. And I think now we're getting to see that. I did not know this. Gary Smith, John Mappin had an online interview just a few days ago, completely lied through his teeth throughout the interview. Where? With who? I would like to watch that. That guy gives me the creeps, man. Scientologists in general, I be careful here. I mean, Scientology is great, guys. It's really good. Hey, Bronson, has Candace blocked you yet? Nah, not yet. Not yet. Candace, in all fairness, Candace probably died. I'm not the loudest one in the room. She probably has no idea I even exist, which is fine by me. Keep that psycho as far away from me as possible. The video of some British lady interviewing John Mappin popped up on my feed last night. I couldn't watch it though. Any idea how long ago it was from? Mappin has another one with a UK journalist lady from yesterday. What are they talking about in these interviews? Is it like Candace, Charlie Kirk stuff, or is it just weird random stuff? Haley hopes I have less than 100 followers and Candace blocked me. You must have hit a nerve then. You must be doing a far better job than me at really getting under her skin. So, congratulations. They talked about Erika and Candace. Okay, now I'm definitely going to have to watch that. I don't not did Mappin share that on X? I feel like I would have seen that. How did I miss that? Yeah, Candace doesn't like that. She was not excited at all. Did you guys, for the ones who are on X, did you see Baron Coleman crash out over that? They're all racist. They're all racist. It's on some lady's YouTube channel. So if I just type in John Mappin, can I find it? Not gonna watch it now, but might have to make like a pre-recorded on this. We will not endorse or encourage the use of obscenities. Guard your mouth. Increase your vocabulary. I am trying. I am from the gutter. This is very difficult for me, but I'm working on it, Amethyst. Oh, this must be it. Is this it? G.I. Jen, I've got 10 minutes into that interview and it made me sick to my stomach. Great. I can't wait. So excited. Well, I mean, I agree, but the more I practice not cussing, the better I feel if I'm a guest on somebody else's show. Does that make sense? Like I don't. I've said this before. I want to be really careful when I'm a guest on somebody else's show. So if I'm just going off unhinged and on my own, then but if I'm practicing here, when I go there, I will be much better at it. And I caught myself quite a few times yesterday on Gary's show. So I don't want to put anybody else's show in jeopardy because, my own because of my own character defects. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Gary is such. I don't want to glaze Gary too much. He's got a big enough head the way it is. Gary is a good dude. Betsy B. Yes, Bronson, I'm saying this is a reformed cusser. Congratulations. I'm trying. The Amethyst Angel, that wasn't for you. It was for a comment. I missed the comment. Okay, well, you know what? It was for me too. It'll help me. So I'm going to say it was for me and for the comment. And I missed the comment. Darn it. Frangie, you're doing a great job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very scary coming on and pressure. You guys are a lot of pressure. I feel like I've got to be really, you know how much coffee I've drank today? A lot. I got this, but I'm feeling pretty good though. But thank you. I really appreciate that. We love Big Head Gary. You know, it's been months since this dude said he was going to try peanut butter with French toast and he still hasn't done it. I think I'm gonna need to start pushing a little bit. I think he needs a little motivation. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, I could still I've got to get that set up on my thing to where I can just push the quack button anyway, because I love the quack. Rail, I think Roger Stone is speaking out about Bannon today on YouTube. God, that stuff is getting crazy. I feel like those guys are all just ick. I have. Candace's use of swear words has increased as she grows in her faith. A lot of, yeah, no kidding. As Candace grows in her faith, she becomes more evil, which is, I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, it's tough. Listen, these people are really good at hiding. So don't be too hard on yourself. These people are master manipulators for sure. They're not stupid people. These are intelligent people. Yeah, Gary was definitely one of the first. For sure. Jay Witt was right there. Crowder, the quartering. I mean, those guys were on it pretty quick. I'm assuming I'm included in the we're, so I will say yes, we are. There's a reason Trump distanced himself from Bannon. Yeah, I agree. I wish there was a few other ones that Trump would distance himself from, but we have no idea what goes on behind the scenes there at all. LLC was calling out Candace pretty quickly too. Yeah. Yeah, Story. If you guys don't watch Storybox, definitely go check out Storybox for sure. KCB, I think a good bit of politicians and wealthy people are pretty ick. They live on their own planet where no rules apply to them. I agree. I agree. That's the wonderful system that we've allowed to take place. Heard that. You know what? I'm just going to pop this up for a second.
Charlie and I were one of those all over the world. Of course, when he did win.
You had the last laugh.
Well, I did have the last laugh, really. And
a whole lot of...
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard this guy talk. I've only seen his posts on X. I already like him less. Yes, thank you. LLC is Lady Luck Club.
Ash.
Well, yes.
You have not watched Lady Luck Club, definitely go check out Lady Luck Club on YouTube. And on X. Oop. Yeah, this was... So Tucker knew Nick Fuentes was Charlie's enemy. He has him on after Charlie passed. Not only did he have him on, but he was not combative at all. And then as soon as it was over, then he went and trash talk Nick. Like, why didn't you say any of that to Nick when you had him on your show? That just what are we doing? Oh, this might be a conversation I didn't catch the beginning of. Eclipse Truth writes, he saw her nefarious intentions a mile away. Tucker also tried to gaslight people into thinking Russian grocery stores are better than the American grocery stores. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what he was. I don't know. I thought I knew Tucker, right? Turns out no. No, the more I pay attention, the less and less I understand these people. The love of money is the root of all evil. I think it goes deeper than that. I don't think it's just money. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money that are above board and do things the right way. I think there's something else there. I think it's power. The love of power is the root of all evil. Endless Summer, Tucker is either dumb or thinks we're dumb. I don't think Tucker is dumb. I don't think Tucker is dumb at all in any sense of the word. I think Tucker is a great actor. Like, if he didn't end up the career he went, I think he would have been a fantastic actor. Mappin and his bizarre wife have scrubbed most of their private and past info from the web. They are suspicious to me. Yeah, I mean, as soon as they said they were Scientologists, that was pretty much all I needed to hear. Not that they're all that way. I think there's probably some good Scientologists. Rage Bronson, Dominique Hoffman does a great video about Tucker you should watch. She goes over his history well. I'll have to check that out. Dominique Hoffman. I think that's part of his shtick. I think that's how he's able to make himself relatable. Not saying he's not that way. He might very well be that way in person too, but it's definitely what helps him attract his audience, for sure. Bronson, you're in a safe space. I am. This is the least safe space at all, like ever, anywhere, is on public YouTube. Yeah, no, listen, guy, like Tucker's good. John Mappin in this interview admits he set up Candace with George. I'm going to have to watch this. I want to see what this guy says. Like his ex posts are bad. I can't imagine like how bad him talking is going to be. That is not weird. If I could have it, I would have a castle. That would be sweet. Okay. Like for vacations and stuff. I don't know if I would want to live in it like permanently. But I think, or you know what? Like, I'd be happy just visiting a castle and like getting to walk into one. But that would require me like making money and getting out of the house. Making more money than I make. Where's the closest castle in the United States? Is there one? Do we have castles? How come we don't have castles? We should build castles. Endless Summer. I want a castle or a manor in a big estate. No way. No way. The upkeep costs. No, you're not thinking of the headaches that come with all that. The things you own end up owning you. That is a legit cliche. No, ick. I would better to just be humble. Stay humble. Keep, stay grounded, stay in reality. Yeah, his Tucker impressions are fantastic. Maybe the Hearst Castle or the Biltmore, but they are so much smaller than European or other castles abroad. Makes sense. To whom much is given, much is required. Amen. Amen. Simple life is where it's at. Simple life is where it's at. Mo money, mo problems. The S-Files. I've always wanted a castle, but I am weird. I'm going to quote an obscure random movie. Every man's home is his castle. or woman's home. The wonderful thing about that is you don't have to be rich to live a simple life. Definitely not old enough of a country for castles, for sure. Ex-favorite daughter Candace seems to be active on X this week. No? Maybe her staff and kids are on a school schedule. I'm not saying one way or the other, not making a statement of fact here. I'm just sharing an opinion. But she says that her kids are homeschooled. I believe her. I don't think she's the one teaching them. I would assume that they have some type of tutor and nanny and whatnot that does most of the things that normal people have to do on a daily basis. And I think she kind of gave herself away a little bit when she talked about how Charlie's kids were sleep trained. Is that a thing? I'm a parent. I have 3 kids. I've never heard anybody refer to as a toddler as being sleep trained in my life. Like, what? I'm an adult and I'm not sleep trained. What the hell is she talking about? Yeah, Candace is killing it with those pronunciations. I don't know how you could. Like, I guess, but I don't know that it would be legal. I feel like you would probably have some, you might get a visit from Child Protective Services or something. I just don't know if I would like. Could you imagine you going over like, no, I have my kids sleep trained. Like, what? What do you mean? Buried. I hope somebody, a big influencer, drops a bomb and buries Candace Owens once and for all. Figuratively, not literally, YouTube. Figuratively. I mean, like we just call that raising. You raise your children to hopefully be decent, productive members of society, right? Good people. But I don't know that I would say that we're I don't know, training seems like I feel like you use that term when you're talking about dogs or cats or something. Or I guess we say potty trained. But yeah, I don't know. I've just never heard the expression they are sleep trained. I've heard some people give their kids Benadryl to make them sleep off like just on a regular basis, or like if they're going to go for a really long car ride on vacation or something and they slip them a little Benadryl and knock them out. Don't do that. But it's kind of funny thinking about it. Potty trained, yes. Sleep trained, no. Yeah, no, I've never heard that expression until Candace Owens. I hope it doesn't become a blitzkrieg. Nope, that would be terrible. Benadryl asleep was big in the 80s. Weren't you guys giving them alcohol back in the 80s? Like slipping some bourbon in their bottles? Or was that prior to the 80s? I'm pretty sure that was still in the 80s. That might actually still be going on now. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm sleep trained. I love my naps. Yes, naps are fantastic. Prager seemed hurt by Candace too. Yeah, that's another thing. Candace just doesn't care. She does not care who she hurts. As long as everything's about her, seems to be that's all she cares about. It's really sad to watch. And deserves mocking. I'm sure you didn't mean to say this, but DMT is a thing. But I'm assuming you meant I don't think my mama gave me alcohol. She could be. You know, who knows how she is behind the scenes. She doesn't seem like a very forgiving person, though. How would she know Charlie's kids are sleep trained anyway? Yeah, who knows? Solid question. I can't imagine that like Charlie or Erika were texting Candace like, we have our children sleep trained. Who knows? Michael Savage went scorched earth about Candace. Can you imagine the mind games with her entire family? The manipulation. I nope, sure can't. Nope, not for me. No, Cantifa wasn't around Charlie's family at all. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call that. Since I have this wonderful new video to watch here and maybe make some content on John Mappin's interview, probably get to that since I'm going to let you guys go. But I really just want to say thank you. Thank you for stopping by, participating in the live. Super chats, donations are always appreciated, but it is not obligatory. You don't need to do that. So just know they are appreciated. They are not required in any way, shape, or form. But I think Gary was going to go live tonight. I don't know if he is live right now or if that's coming up, but I'm going to end mine before he starts his. So thanks again. I really appreciate everybody coming. And one last time, I will just say that I was wrong about Graham and I apologize. And no more attacking Graham. I really wish these guys would have bigger balls and come out and confront things a little sooner. That's all. That's what I'll end with. So thanks, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. CJ with the 5 gifted. Big shout out to CJ. Appreciate you. CJ is the man, everybody.